In some parts of the world, people are strong and active well into their 80s. Meanwhile, here in the States, many of us feel our strength just slipping away, no matter how much we exercise. So what's their secret? You might think it's about lifting heavier weights or some complicated diet, but it's not. Top researchers discovered the real issue isn't what we do during the day. They found a hidden biological window, a crucial period right before you go to sleep, a window that science is now showing can either build your muscle or silently break it down while you rest. And get this, by making a few simple tweaks in this window, tweaks that take less than 5 minutes, you can command your body to preserve and even rebuild muscle tissue overnight. I'm Dr. William Lee, a physician with over 25 years of experience specializing in age-related muscle loss. I've personally guided thousands of patients away from the path of frailty and back to a life of strength. So if you're someone who feels that getting up from a chair takes a little more effort, or that your grip just isn't what it used to be, then you need to hear this. Before we dive in, if any of this sounds familiar, just do me a favor and comment with the word ready below. And be sure to hit that like button, because what I'm about to share could truly change how you age. All right, now that we understand what's at stake, let's begin building your nighttime protocol. We're going to walk through the 5 essential steps, starting with the one that underpins everything else, the absolute foundation. Number 1, the foundation. Deep sleep is non-negotiable. For years, I've had patients come into my office feeling frustrated. They would tell me, Dr. Lee, I'm doing everything right. I walk every day. I watch what I eat, but I feel like I'm getting weaker. I feel frail. And my first question is never about their diet or their exercise. It's always the same. I look at them and ask, tell me about your sleep. More often than not, that's where the problem lies. We've been told to think of sleep as a passive state of rest, like shutting down a computer for the night. But that couldn't be further from the truth. For your muscles, sleep is the most active, most important part of the day. It's the construction site where all the repair and rebuilding happens. You see, when you're active during the day, you're actually creating tiny microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. This is normal. This is how you signal the body to get stronger. But the signal is just the first step. The actual work, the rebuilding, happens almost exclusively during a specific phase of sleep. It's called slow wave sleep. You probably know it better as deep sleep. During this precious window, your brain sends out a powerful command. It releases a flood of something called human growth hormone, or GH. Think of growth hormone as the foreman of your body's overnight construction crew. It's the master signal that tells your body, okay, it's time to repair, rebuild the tissues, strengthen the bones, and synthesize new muscle. Up to 70% of your daily growth hormone is released during this first deep sleep cycle, typically within the first couple of hours after you fall asleep. It's an incredibly powerful, natural, and essential process. But here's the critical part. If that deep sleep is interrupted, or if you don't get enough of it, that foreman, he never shows up for work. The signal is never sent. The construction crew stays home, and those tiny tears in your muscles, they don't get repaired. Instead, another hormone takes over, a hormone called cortisol. You know it as the stress hormone. When you're sleep deprived, cortisol levels stay high at night when they should be low. And cortisol is catabolic. That's a scientific term. That means it breaks things down. It essentially tells your body, we're in a state of emergency. We don't have time to build. We need to break down muscle tissue for quick energy. So you end up in a state where you are actively losing the very muscle you're trying to keep. This is why you can have a great day of activity and healthy eating, but if your sleep is poor, you can wake up the next morning biologically weaker than you were the day before. The good news is you have incredible control over this. The first tool is simple. Protect your sleep window. Aim to be in bed before midnight. Your body's natural hormonal rhythm is designed to have its most potent repair cycle in the early part of the night. Missing this window is like missing the most important meeting of the day. The second tool is to manage your environment. For about 60 to 90 minutes before you plan to sleep, start dimming the lights in your home. The bright blue light from our screens, our phones, and even our overhead lights tricks our brain into thinking it's still daytime. This suppresses the release of melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep, and it keeps that nasty cortisol elevated. So lower the lights, switch to a warm lamp, put your phone away, and finally, be mindful of stimulants. A cup of coffee at 2 or even 3 in the afternoon can still have enough caffeine in your system at 10 p.m. to keep you out of that precious deep sleep. That afternoon pick-me-up might feel good in the moment, but it could be sabotaging your strength overnight. Sleep is not a luxury. For anyone over 60, it is a non-negotiable pillar of strength and vitality. Number 2, the building blocks, the right kind of protein before bed. Now that we've laid the foundation with quality sleep, let's talk about the materials for our construction site. If sleep opens the door for repair and growth hormone is the foreman, then protein provides the actual bricks and mortar. Without the raw materials, the crew can't do its job. For a long time, the common advice was simply to avoid eating anything before bed. We were told it would lead to weight gain, but recent science, especially in the field of aging and muscle health, has turned that old advice on its head. It turns out what you need is not an empty stomach, but the right kind of fuel to get you through the night. Your body is in a repair cycle for 8 hours while you sleep. That's a long time to go without any building materials. If your bloodstream is empty of amino acids, the building blocks from protein, your body might turn to the only source it has, your existing muscle tissue. It's a process called catabolism, and it's the enemy of long-term strength. This is where the type of protein you consume becomes incredibly important. Most people are familiar with whey protein. It's popular in post-workout shakes because it digests very, very quickly. It floods your system with amino acids, which is great right after a walk or exercise. But before bed, you want the exact opposite. You want a slow, steady release of those building blocks all night long. Think of it like this. Whey protein is like a piece of paper that burns bright and fast. What you need at night is a slow burning log for the fireplace. And in the world of protein, that slow burning log is called casein. Casein is the other primary protein found in dairy, and it behaves differently in your stomach. It forms a gel-like substance that digests very slowly, releasing a trickle of amino acids into your bloodstream for up to 7 or 8 hours. This is the perfect biological scenario. You're providing your body with the exact materials it needs at the exact time it's ready to use them for repair. A landmark study showed that consuming casein protein about 30 minutes before sleep led to a significant increase in overnight muscle protein synthesis. In simple terms, the body was actively building more muscle while the participants were sleeping. And this effect was seen even when they were already eating enough protein during the day. The simple, actionable tool here is this. 30 to 60 minutes before bed, have a drink with 30 to 40 grams of what's called micellar casein. Just mix it with water or a little bit of unsweetened almond milk. If you prefer whole foods, there's a wonderful alternative. About 1.5 cups of low-fat cottage cheese provides roughly the same amount of slow-digesting casein. Now, I know the question you're thinking, but Dr. Lee, will this cause me to gain weight? It's a valid concern, but the research is very reassuring. A high-protein, low-calorie, sugar-free snack before bed does not lead to fat gain. In fact, it can improve your metabolism the next morning and help you feel more full and satisfied, preventing those late-night cravings or blood sugar dips that can wake you up. By strategically using a slow-digesting protein, you are fundamentally shifting your body's nighttime chemistry from a state of breakdown to a state of building. It's one of the simplest yet most powerful changes you can make. Number 3, the saboteur. Avoid the hormone, blocking foods. We've established the importance of deep sleep to release growth hormone, and we've provided the protein building blocks for repair. Now, we must talk about what can sabotage this entire process. There is one specific biological trigger that can slam the brakes on your body's entire nighttime repair system. It acts like a red light for growth hormone release. That trigger is a spike in the hormone insulin. Insulin is essential for life. Its job is to move sugar from your bloodstream into your cells for energy. However, your body sees high levels of insulin as a signal that you've just been fed a lot of energy, particularly sugar. When this happens, the body's priority shifts. It thinks, okay, we have a flood of energy to deal with. We need to focus on storing this energy maybe as fat. We need to put the growth and repair projects on hold for now. And so the brain's release of that precious growth hormone is blunted. It's significantly reduced, or in some cases, almost completely shut off, especially during that critical early phase of sleep. This creates a disastrous scenario for your muscles. You could be doing everything else, right? Getting to bed on time, having your casein protein. But if you eat the wrong foods too close to bedtime, you are effectively canceling out your own efforts. You're turning off the foreman right before the night shift begins. So, what are these hormone blocking foods? The primary culprits are high glycemic carbohydrates. These are foods that break down into sugar very quickly in your bloodstream, causing a rapid and large insulin spike. Think about the common evening habits. A bowl of ice cream while watching TV, a few cookies or a piece of cake for dessert, even things that seem healthier, like a large bowl of white pasta or white rice for dinner, can cause this problem if eaten too close to when you go to sleep. And there's another major saboteur that many people don't think of in the same category: alcohol. That evening, glass of wine or beer might feel relaxing, but alcohol can dramatically spike your insulin and has been shown to suppress growth hormone output by as much as 75%. It also disrupts the architecture of your sleep, preventing you from getting into that deep, restorative, slow wave stage we talked about earlier. The solution here is a simple but firm rule. I call it the 2-hour rule. For at least 2, and ideally 3, hours before you get into bed, avoid these high glycemic foods and all alcohol. This gives your body enough time to process the carbohydrates from your evening meal and for your insulin levels to return to a low, stable baseline before you fall asleep. This creates the perfect hormonal environment for growth hormone to be released without interference. Now, this doesn't mean you can never have carbohydrates in the evening. They can actually be helpful for sleep when used correctly. The key is to choose low glycemic sources, things like berries, lentils, or a very small portion of steel-cut oats, and to keep the portion size moderate. Pairing any carbohydrate with fiber and protein also helps to blunt the insulin spike, just by being mindful of what you eat. And more importantly, when you eat it in the evening, you remove the biggest obstacle standing in the way of your body's natural ability to repair and rebuild itself overnight. Number 4, the gentle activator, the 2-minute pre-sleep movement. This next step might sound a little counterintuitive. When we think of the time before bed, we think of winding down, of being still. The idea of movement might seem like it would wake us up, but I'm not talking about exercise. You are not going to be doing jumping jacks or lifting weights at 10 p.m. I'm talking about a very specific kind of gentle, low-intensity physical activity, a simple 2-minute ritual that can dramatically improve your body's ability to manage blood sugar overnight and protect your muscle tissue. It's what I call a gentle activation. Here is the science behind it. One of the overlooked threats to muscle health, especially as we age, is blood sugar dysregulation while we sleep. After your evening meal, your blood glucose levels naturally rise. If you spend the rest of the evening sitting on the couch, completely sedentary, that glucose can stay elevated in your bloodstream for a longer period. This can lead to spikes and crashes in your blood sugar throughout the night, which disrupts sleep quality and triggers the release of cortisol, that muscle-wasting hormone we want to avoid. But you have a powerful tool at your disposal to manage this: your muscles. Your muscles are your body's primary storage tank for glucose. They are metabolically active, always ready to pull sugar out of the bloodstream and store it as glycogen for future use. And here's the amazing part. You don't need intense exercise to flip this switch. Research has shown that just a few minutes of light movement can significantly improve what's called glucose disposal. It tells your muscles to open their gates and welcome that sugar in. A famous study found that just 2 minutes of slow walking after a meal was more effective at controlling post-meal glucose than 30 minutes of sitting. By performing this gentle activation before bed, you are essentially priming your metabolic engine for the night. You're helping your body put that energy from your dinner into its proper storage, place your muscles rather than leaving it floating around in your blood where it can cause problems. This creates a much more stable internal environment, leading to lower cortisol, better sleep, and a hormonal profile that favors repair over breakdown. So, what does this look like in practice? It's incredibly simple. About 20 to 30 minutes after your last meal, or just before you begin your wind down routine for bed, perform 2 to 3 minutes of gentle movement. This could be a slow paced walk around your living room. It could be some simple mobility exercises like gentle arm swings, hip circles, or slowly rotating your ankles. You can even just stand up and do some light standing stretches. The key here is that the movement should be relaxing and grounding, not stimulating. You want to pair this with deep nasal breathing, which helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, further lowering cortisol and preparing your body for sleep. This 2-minute protocol is one of the most underutilized yet powerful tools for anyone looking to maintain strength as they age. It requires no equipment, it's easy on the joints, and it changes your internal chemistry for the better starting tonight. It's not about working out, it's about signaling your body correctly before its most important repair shift begins. Number 5, the final ingredient, the calming amino acid glycine. We have now built a powerful nighttime protocol. We've secured the sleep window, provided the protein building blocks, removed the hormonal saboteurs, and primed our metabolism with gentle movement. For our final step, we're going to add one more ingredient, a surprisingly simple and safe tool that acts as a powerful ally for both your nervous system and your muscles. It's an amino acid called glycine. Now, glycine isn't a household name like vitamin C or calcium, but in the world of sleep science and muscle metabolism, it's one of the most underrated and effective compounds, especially for what happens at night. Glycine plays a unique dual role in the body. Firstly, it functions as an inhibitory neurotransmitter in your brain. That sounds complex, but it simply means it has a calming effect on your nervous system. It helps to quiet the mental chatter and reduce anxiety, making it easier to fall asleep. It also helps to lower your core body temperature, which is a critical biological signal that your body needs to initiate and maintain deep sleep. Studies have shown that individuals taking just 3 grams of glycine before bed not only fell asleep faster, but also reported better sleep quality, less daytime fatigue, and even improved cognitive function the next day. This is where it differs from a supplement like melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that primarily helps to regulate your sleep-wake cycle, your circadian rhythm. It's very effective for things like jet lag. Glycine, on the other hand, works downstream. It improves the actual architecture and quality of your sleep, helping you spend more time in those deeper, more restorative stages where muscle repair happens. But the benefits don't stop there. This is where glycine's second role comes into play. It has been shown to play a crucial part in muscle preservation. Research published in the journal Clinical Nutrition found that glycine supplementation helped reduce the loss of muscle mass in older adults, particularly during periods of stress or calorie restriction. It does this by helping to lower systemic inflammation and by being a key component in the synthesis of collagen, which is vital for the health of your muscles, joints, and connective tissues. So, with this one simple amino acid, you are getting a powerful 2-for-1 benefit. You're enhancing the quality of your deep sleep, which allows growth hormone to do its job, and you're providing a compound that directly supports the integrity of your muscle tissue. Here is the practical tool to apply this. About 60 to 90 minutes before bed, consume 3 to 5 grams of glycine. It's widely available as a supplement in powder form, which dissolves easily in a little bit of water or a warm, non-caffeinated beverage. You can also find it naturally in sources like bone broth or collagen peptides. Just be sure to check the label for the glycine content. My favorite way for patients to use it is to combine it with their evening casein protein. You can mix the glycine powder right into your casein shake. This combination is the final brick in the wall, creating a powerful synergy. The casein provides a steady stream of amino acids, while the glycine ensures you get into the deep sleep necessary for your body to actually use them. It's the final step to fully optimize your biology for overnight recovery and strength. So let's bring it all together. The blueprint is simple and it is powerful. First, protect your deep sleep as if it were the most precious resource you have, because it is. Second, provide your body with the right building materials, that slow digesting protein that works all night long. Third, remove the saboteurs. Avoid those late night sugar spikes and alcohol that shut down your body's repair signals. Fourth, gently activate your muscles for just 2 minutes to create a stable internal environment. And finally, consider adding that calming amino acid glycine to enhance both your sleep and your recovery. And let's be perfectly clear about why this protocol matters so much. This is about more than just muscle. This is about owning your metabolic health. It's about protecting your body against insulin resistance, fatigue, and injury. It's about keeping your mind sharp and your body ready for everything life has to offer. This is about your independence. You see, what you've just learned isn't simply a list of tips. It's a system. You now understand how to take back control of your biology at a fundamental level. You know how to send the right signals to your body. Signals of repair, of recovery, and of strength. That is a powerful thing. Now, I don't expect you to change your entire life overnight. In fact, I'm going to ask you to do just one small thing. Choose one. Just one of the tools we discussed today. And I want you to try it tonight. Maybe it's putting your phone away an hour earlier. Or maybe it's trying a small bowl of cottage cheese before bed. Just one small change. Because that is how every great transformation begins. And to help all of us build a strong, supportive community right here, if you feel inspired to take that first step, please leave a comment below with the simple words, "Ready to act." It's a way for us to encourage each other, and I promise you, I read every single comment. Please always remember this. You are so much stronger than you think. Your journey to reclaiming your vitality has just begun. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue to walk this path together. Thank you for your time. I'm Dr. William Lee. Until next time, take care of your body, your brain, and your nighttime biology.